Welcome back to Big Red Rant. The portal is finally closed, and the Huskers have a lot of players leaving. But the biggest name to leave, obviously, is Casey Thompson. But according to Ellie French, in a KETV article, Casey Thompson is not ruling out the possibility of coming back to Nebraska. Hit the like button for us and tell us in the comments below, would you welcome a reunion with Casey Thompson and the Nebraska Cornhuskers? Gary, I know you've looked into this. I know that it's possible, but do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it'll happen?
I don't think it's a horrible idea. I don't think it'll happen either. The reason I say I don't think it's a horrible idea is because I don't know how many seasons back you'd have to go to find a quarterback that started the season and played all the way through without having injuries or setbacks or whatever the case may be throughout the year. And again, everything always circles back to that offensive line. Not enough guys really in the spring game to see if there's much improvement at all, if there's any improvement, if so, how much. We'll be getting some guys back as we get closer to the season. It was pretty obvious that Sims was going to be the guy. The other thing that I took out of that article that you're referring to is that when they asked him how he felt and how he was health-wise, he said he's 100%. And Matt Rule had been talking about he wasn't even supposed to be throwing as soon as he was allegedly throwing on the field, but he wasn't participating or he wasn't allowed to, depending on how you look into that, throwing drills that the other quarterbacks were doing. So I kind of got mixed vibes of he's being held back almost intentionally so that Sims could be so that there wasn't a controversy, a quarterback controversy. And that could come back to bite Nebraska. They asked if Sims either doesn't pan out or the offensive line where he's getting banged up, I don't know what his toughness is like, if he's going to be like Casey. I know he's more athletic and mobile, allegedly, he's definitely faster, but we'll see if he can keep himself healthy by using his legs if need be, if the line hasn't had much improvement. But I just feel like it was more of obviously, I'm speculating. I don't want to put words into people's mouths or, kind of pigeonhole myself into what I'm saying here. But it had a real feel to me that he was told it would be best for him to go play somewhere else. And if he's 100%, if he's able to throw, he's able to do these things, but the coaches are saying they're not going to allow him to do that yet. They had at least led me to believe, I don't know how many other people, it would be weeks into the regular season before he'd even be ready. And now you find out, no, he's 100% healthy. He was at that interview he did was at a camp up here in Omaha or in Papillion working with kids, and he was throwing and showing them throwing motions and things like that. So it just kind of makes me feel like it's more he was told Sims is the guy. If you want to be, like a full-time starter, do your thing, it's probably not here. And like I said, that's my kind of speculating from what I've gathered from the whole deal. Did anything come off a certain or particular way to you?
I found it interesting as well that he said he was 100%. That seemed very on purpose. One thing I find interesting is that there's not a lot of starting caliber quarterbacks available. So he's one of a few. If he doesn't get picked up by another team, bottom line, the real question is, do you trust him as a backup more than Chubba Purdy? And to that, I say absolutely. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I think he would be most college football team's best backup quarterback, or the best backup quarterback most college teams could have. The problem is you've got a guy who started however many games at Texas, started every game he was healthy enough to play last year, and now you're telling him go sit the bench for a guy who's essentially in your position that you were in last year. He was brought in to be the guy, Matt Rule, and then brought in Sims to be the guy. So that's what I'm saying is, like, if that's kind of made clear to him and he knows he can go to, the speculation is Auburn's kind of the hot topic, but a place like Auburn, Florida, Oklahoma State, Houston, a lot of these places that need quarterbacks and play again, we always go back to every football player's aspiration from college is to go to the NFL. If he wasn't a NFL quarterback candidate, like a higher pick this year, sitting the bench and maybe getting in a few games if a guy gets hurt or late in games or however you want to do that isn't going to elevate him and catapult him into that category, right? So he needs to be at a place where he at least has the opportunity to start all season long. And if he stays healthy, he can kind of showcase his talents and show what he would be able to do at the next level. That's kind of where my opinion is formed of he was told or made to understand, regardless if we have to hold you back or your injury holds you back or whatever it is, Sims is the guy. If something goes crazy wrong with him, we'll put you in. If he gets hurt, you be the next guy. I think they made it real easy for him to say, all right, I'm out. And that's the other reason why I don't think a guy who's going to his third school in 3 years or whatever, or leaving his second school and, as quick as he got there is really truly leaving the door open to come back unless for some reason every place he goes and talks to says either thanks but no thanks, or yeah, we got a spot for you, but it's second or third on the bench.
Yeah, I'm hopeful because it would put Nebraska in a better spot in case Sims goes down, God forbid. I'm hopeful, but I'm not expecting it. But I think it would be really interesting. Tell us in the comments, do you think Matt Rule should welcome Casey Thompson back with open arms if given the opportunity? We'll see you guys next time. Go Big Red.